bro, you focusing on the wrong things. You feed your focus and starve your fears. You feed what you did right. Learn from what you did wrong, but you need to look at it.
Yes. You already know what it is, who it is, and how it's going down. It's your it's your boy Will Beckford.
Hey, your main man, Dallas Maxwell. But yo, and just go ahead. Do the
Nah,
thing.
you know, hey, listen.
I wanted to.
All right, I know.
No, I wanted to just follow up on the conversation we had last week. Remember we were talking about disciplining the kids, right?
Okay.
You know? So I got
How that went for
that
you?
shit worked.
Yeah.
That shit worked. So I came home, gave him the shutdown speech. You know what I'm saying? Took everything, had him clean the whole house up, whatever. So this Friday, I told him the same thing. I was like, my son hit me. I was like, yo, bro, make sure everything is good before I come home, and then y'all can get the iPad, get your phone back. Joker sent me vivid pictures. Everything was good. So it only took 1 week for them to know that I wasn't playing. I said, there ain't going to be a bunch of back and forth. I made them write out like a couple of times on the paper. They started working together. But that taking it away and saying you got to earn your privileges constantly every day, and if you don't do what you're supposed to be doing, the privilege is gone. I don't want to kick it. I said, you know, when parents say this is tough love, like this hurts me more, I hate this part. This ain't the fun part of parenting. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
But if I don't show you this a hard boundary, then you're going to be coloring outside of the lines.
No doubt.
And my daughter she's like, damn, Dad, you're not playing like you can't do it all abrupt. I said, y'all behind. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing catch up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all develop some bad habits over time, and now it's just not going to happen no more. So within 1 week, we turn the whole damn thing around.
And they know.
And they know it's not a game.
Because that follow through is serious.
The follows through and setting the standard.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
no
That
doubt.
was what it is. So that shit works. So parents, man, if the advice is that if your kids are not doing what you need them to do, you got to look around their life and think about everything that's a privilege. What's a necessity? Yeah, make sure it don't rain on them. The lights work. It's kind of, it's comfortable in the house. Make sure they ain't starving too much. But outside of that, everything else is extra.
Everything, and with kids, it's extreme.
Games, Wi-Fi.
No, but it's extreme, though. Like, their phone, that shit is extreme. You take the phone, extreme.
Man.
Video game, extreme. So, getting to the point to where you can set the standard.
Yeah.
And
set
make
the standard,
sure you
set the
follow through.
expectations, and
Yeah.
follow through.
Yeah.
And the main thing, parents, is that it ain't about getting angry at them. Just understanding that they need to learn. They haven't learned yet. So until they respect the things, you got to remove it from them, and they'll learn real quick. You know what I'm saying? So that shit worked. Quick story. The reason why I was a little late coming here, like I said, I went and tried to get me some jeans yesterday. So I bought some jeans. I'm like,
Let's go.
I lost a little weight. I'm about to get my size
No, you lost
down.
a lot of weight, bro.
All right, yeah. So I lost a lot of weight, so I'm buying new jeans. Man, I tried to get me some new jeans. I got home like, man, these jeans look silly as hell.
Oh, what you?
No, I caught myself getting some straight leg jeans, but I guess they were more like skinny jeans.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do.
I'm feeling them.
Don't listen.
I'm a pretty trendy cat. Let me
Nah.
try this on.
No.
Man, I put them damn jeans on. I got home. I started cracking on my damn self. Like, this nigga look like a 10th grader, man. What you
Yeah,
got
nah.
some jeggings on?
Nah,
So I was
bro.
like, man, take them jeans back and
Nah.
get some man jeans.
Nah, facts.
So that's why I was late.
Levi's.
Straight leg, man.
Straight
I was
leg,
like, I got
yeah.
some damn jeggings on. So
Nah.
that's my little story. I tried to get with the trend. I'm like, nah, man, I can't do the spandex. But anyway, let's get to it.
You already know what it is, who it is, how it's going down. It's your boy Will Beckford.
And your main man, Dallas Maxwell.
And this is Transformers, the podcast, where our goal is to help transform the lives of 100,000 men.
And transform into the man that they are today into the man that they want to be tomorrow. And today is
yes.
a very special episode.
Dude, this is number 10. Number 10.
Hey, you know what? And the timing is perfect. Today is the 10th
This
episode.
number 10, bro. Let's go.
But you got to think about it. 10 is a big thing because that's the difference between single and double digits. Shit, you
No
add
doubt.
a zero to your bank account. That means something.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
In regards of whatever.
Whatever. Add a zero to anything. That means something. Your
Yeah, no
kid
doubt.
go from 9 to 10. That means something.
No doubt.
And the thing about it is that, even for me, and we talked about this a lot of times, is like celebrating the small wins. I mean, 10 episodes on the podcast, that shit is a big deal to me, man, especially what it took to get it going. And a lot of
doubt.
times, when people are trying to set out to do something new, The hardest part is always going to be in the beginning, man. It's going to always be the toughest in the beginning. That's the whole 80-20 rule. They say the hardest part is getting started. They say a plane uses 80% of its fuel on the liftoff and 20% on cruise control. So
Right.
the hardest part is going to be starting the new workout regimen. The hardest part is going to be starting to write the book. Anytime you're changing the pattern or you're doing something that you haven't been doing, that's the hardest part, which is
doubt.
why people normally quit. And so today, the title of the show is appropriately titled Celebrating the Small Wins. Like I said, this is our 10th episode. This shit has not been easy. We are not audio engineers. We had everything from chasing birds out of the room to getting pulled over by cops, audio technical difficulties. When we first started, I think the first thing we shot on the iPhone,
Yeah,
which will
no doubt.
work. You know what I'm saying? We got the cameras every day. It's a different challenge. You know, we try to stay consistent with y'all. You know what I'm saying? We want to be able to go live and shoot the thing at 2:30, but sometimes things happen, and you don't got to get it perfect. You don't got to get it right. You got to just get it going. You know what I'm
doubt.
saying? So whatever it is that y'all are up to, don't be too hard on yourself. Get some momentum, get some traction, get some movement, and then you can start course correcting.
And it's about resilience, man. Like, just like you said, with anything you're trying to do, to be honest, if it's worth anything, you're gonna have there's gonna definitely be some hurdles and some challenges. But the thing is, even with the iPhone and starting off on the first episode, we was at a point because we had a huge camera. Like I had, there's a Mark, the Canon Mark V, like a big camera, but we had technical difficulties, getting that set up and putting that all together. You know what we said? Nah, we not letting this time go to waste. Let's set this iPhone up.
Yep.
Let's set the light. I don't even know if we had the lights at the time.
No, we didn't have no lights. Matter of fact, we had one light and we tried to put the box over it. But see, that's the thing, man. And I want to spend enough time on letting people know that in the beginning it's gonna be ugly. It ain't gonna be cute. It don't get cute until you get some momentum going. You know what I'm saying? And that's why people don't start, because they want the start to be pretty. This pretty is ugly. Like I told my son, I'm like, listen, man, you want to have braids, you're gonna have to live with a dumbass little afro.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to get around.
I'm telling you.
And I'm using the metaphor.
I had dreads, bro. You know that dreadlock, the beginning phase of the dreadlocks.
That Florida Evans afro, you gotta rock it. You gotta rock that for at least 6 to 8 months.
I'm telling you.
And you're gonna want to shape it up.
Nah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna want to
doubt.
taper it.
It ain't gonna, but it ain't gonna be right.
It ain't gonna be right.
Never be right.
So if you want to get the locks, if you want to get braids, you got to go through that dumb little afro. Now it's
that's funny as hell, no, but it's true.
but it's a symbol for
the growing pains.
The phase. The phase that is not pretty, the ugly part of the storm. And once you push through that, then you push through that storm and you get to the light. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, 10th episode, we're really proud of that. We're going to be excited when we're doing the 100th and the 1000th and so forth. And so today, we want to talk about how to set yourself up for success by celebrating the small wins and what small wins look like. And so for me, one of the things that I've struggled with is self-talk. You know what I'm saying?
Positive self-talk.
Positive self-talk, or not doing negative self-talk.
Right.
A lot of times we'll disguise being hard on ourselves or holding ourselves up to a higher standard as this way that we talk to ourselves, but sometimes when holding yourself to a higher standard can turn into negative self-talk and beating ourselves up. Right. You know what I'm saying? Not forgiving ourselves up. Or if we make mistake, dwelling too much on the mistake that we made instead of the positive thing that we made. And so it's very, very important to understand that winning thoughts are what precede winning actions, and winning actions are what precede winning results. I mean, you and I talked earlier about the whole imposter syndrome and how to get out of your head. And so my suggestion for people and what I do for myself is you set up a game that you can win at, because the more you win, the more momentum that you'll create. And it's not about ignoring the challenges, but it's focusing on the opportunities. It's not about ignoring the obstacles, rather, but focusing on the opportunities. So again, the small wins is the whole concept of finding something that you've improved in so you can kind of hone in on that. Let me ask you this question. Do you find when you're training people that's difficult for people to be able to focus on the small wins, or does it seem like normal, or does everybody struggle with that?
No. It's super difficult, because when it comes to fitness, most individuals a lot of times the things that get them motivated to want to train and work out and eat right and to be fit is they see someone that they admire lose a lot of weight and they're fit and they look good and they, having the conversations with them, or they see them post and they talk about how fast they were able to get the results. So individuals, it's hard for an individual to look at or forecast the process on how long it's going to take for them to get to that point. So most people will come in, regardless of the conversation you have with them, thinking that, okay, this person did a 16-week program and they would hit their goal weight in 16 weeks. So I'm doing a 16-week program. I've lost 25 pounds. My goal is 40 pounds. Why am I not at 40 pounds yet? Not understanding there's so many different components that allow that person to hit the goal in the weeks, whether it's the weight, whether it's, their body functions. Some people, I have people in here that have hormonal issues. They have so many different variables and things that's going on within them that determines whether they're losing 2 pounds a week or they're losing 4 pounds a week. But people don't understand that. And like we spoke about as well, the microwave culture, everyone wants whatever they want it right now. And they want it how they see it, deem it, or they see it in their heads. But a lot of times that's not the case. And if you don't understand, that the goal or the idea of it is to believe in whoever's setting the process and to go through the process and stay focused and resilient through the process, if that's not the mindset, then you'll be one of those people as well, looking for the quick fix. And when that quick fix doesn't come in the time that you think it should be there, then a lot of people quit in that process.
And to your point, I think that's why a lot of people give up, because it's not happening, quote fingers, fast enough. But the whole fast enough concept is not always based in something that's valid. Like, you might be looking at a person that's taking a whole different particular route. They don't got the same challenges you don't have. They don't have the same things going for them. So at the end of the day, when we talk about small wins, the thing is to ask yourself, am I getting better, and how and in what way? So don't ask yourself, why is it challenge? Why is it hard? Ask yourself, how am I getting better, in what way? Well, I signed up for the program. I did the workout. I drank the water. And what happens is that I've noticed with myself, when I can break it down into small wins, I can find something to get excited about instead of something to get upset about. You know what I'm saying? And it also changes your mindset in terms of the way that you approach things. So the small wins is a very, very important concept in terms of trying to get things done. I think a lot of times, man, we're programmed to look at what's wrong with us, what's not working for us. I mean, especially in these days and age when we're so social media and imagery is so prevalent that we compare ourselves externally to things that are outside of us. We look at everybody's finished product, and we assume that if we're not there, that we're slow or we're behind, and then that robs us of being able to celebrate what we are doing right.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And I think, and we talked about it before we got on the air, and we were talking about this question just for the audience, is that do you think people are born optimistic or pessimistic? And what we came up with is that we think it's a function of the environment, the reinforcement, the support that you have. But if you're not in a reinforcing or a supportive environment, then you have to create one for yourself.
Right.
Because it's critical when getting anything done to believe that you can actually do it. The person ain't never made a shot that they thought that they were going to miss. So I think optimism and focusing on the wins is the only way to really lift yourself up and kind of move forward.
Right. And it's the process, right? Small wins, right? You only can make small wins if you're doing the things right. If you're doing things right and you're following the process.
Yep.
That's the only way to make small wins, right? To lose a pound, to lose 2 pounds, to make $1,000, to make $1,500.
Yep.
Like, the only way those small wins occur and they happen is if you're doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing right and you're following the process. So if you understand that, as long as you continue to to accomplish these small wins, it's inevitable that you will get to the point you want to be in.
The big win, they're gonna equal the big.
Eventually, they'll compound to a point to where you do accomplish the specific thing that you're trying to accomplish. But at the end of the day, it's going to take small wins. You don't see people come in and start something new, and it's like big win, big win, big win, big win. No, that's lottery.
Like that.
That's winning the lottery, and how many people have done that?
Well, the people that win the lottery don't keep it because they didn't really build towards it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And so
that's another fact.
And the thing is too, when we're talking about wins, now we use a lot of fitness examples because it's pretty linear and it's easy to understand. But whatever your goal is can be your goal. If your goal is, I want to be more expressive, if your goal is, I want to not get frustrated, or if your goal is, I don't want to let the little things distract me, then you celebrate what a win would look like around that. So as an example, for me, one of my pet peeves is stupid drivers, right? You know what I'm saying?
That's bro.
So and I got a patience problem.
No,
it's just one of my
personal
things.
You always get behind the stupid drivers when you got somewhere to go.
When you got something to do.
You got something to do. You got to be somewhere at a specific time.
You know, and I'm glad you brought that up because I realized I was the stupid driver the other day, and this is the point of perspective, and I'm gonna try to tie the small wins in, right? So one of the things that frustrates me is people going too slow, not making turns I feel that they could have made. Now here's where the small wins and the big wins come. That's a small thing in the grand scheme of things.
Very small.
If the dude not making a left when he could have is gonna be your main problem for the day,
you good. You should be all right.
You got some problems. And so a win might be like, you know what? When something stupid happens, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I'm going to clear my mind and move forward. And if you're able to do that.
Right. That should be a win.
That's a win.
Yeah, no doubt.
So make finding small wins fun. Like as an example, one thing I be telling my son is that he thinks out loud before he talks. So what I mean by that is he'll say something. I'd be like, damn, I know you didn't think about that. I know, there's no way, because you're way too smart. You wouldn't have said that.
Right,
if you thought about that, you wouldn't have said that.
Right.
So I said, son, I'm going to tell you what I want you to do. I want you to work on shutting up first. Like when you're about to say something, think about what you're saying and think about if that makes sense or not.
I ain't going to lie, bro. I learned that in college. Nah, I ain't going to, I'm not even being funny. Like, I remember, like, coming up, we was talking about, like, you know, sports and high school sports and stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to do interviews, and I sound dumb as hell. Like, no, I'm dead serious. And when I got the Rutgers with Shiano, he got all us media coaching, right? And, bro, like, we did it for weeks. Like, you know, the top players on the team, they made sure we was in there extra because we was doing the interviews and stuff. And
so you weren't going to say no something stupid.
Yeah. But it's just so you got media training, so a lot of times with football players or athletes, you finish a game and your adrenaline is so high because they only want to interview you if you won.
Yeah,
so your adrenaline is so high. So when they ask you questions, you see that. Go to YouTube and just type in stupid interviews with athletes, and you'll see it. I've been on 1,000. I might be on 1,000 of them. But with the media coaching, the first thing they said, like literally, this is the thing that kind of changed how I, you know, whether I'm doing lives or whether. They said, take 3 seconds, breathe in, take 3 seconds before you answer any question.
Ooh.
The first thing. Don't just come in and when they ask you the question, just answer. Oh, like, yeah, the quarterback was stupid.
I ain't mean to say that. that ain't shit I want to say at all.
Like, that's, you know, my quarter. Like, you know what I mean? So, ideally, that's kind of like a my bad.
Nah,
so
you good.
Ideally, that's kind of like one of the things that help. And I'm not to go off on a tangent about that, but it's super important to just think, just like you was telling your son.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
All you got to do is just think before you talk.
That's all.
Don't be irrational. Just whatever the question is, internalize the question, decipher it in your head, and then answer it properly in that manner. And that thing right like that is stuff I use right now today. And we started doing that when I was a freshman in college. And it's super simple, but it's very important.
It's simple, but here's the context of it is that so if you want to so we got to create the category and then we create the win. The win is that I want to be more articulate. I want to express myself in a well thought out manner.
Right.
I want to respond. I don't want to just react. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling my son, I asked him to do something. He'd be like, damn, Dad, where's the so-and-so? I'm like, bruh, if you would have actually just thought about what I just said, you would see that the so-and-so is right there. So you're wasting time and you're making things harder because you're not thinking. So what's the win?
Right.
The win for him would be like, I asked him to do something. He doesn't say anything. He'll think about it and be like, all right, bet he's talking about that.
Right.
You just won because you employed a different action other than what you would have normally did. And so the tie together is set up a game that you have small wins, because when you start seeing yourself improving, that's what's going to give you the momentum to continue, the motivation to continue.
Right,
a lot of people talk about I need motivation.
But I like momentum though.
Yeah.
I like motivation. Yeah.
That's what you need.
No,
momentum.
I like momentum. I like momentum because momentum, you know, you can really move. You can really move off momentum, and you can really get a lot of things accomplished. As far as the energy you need and the mindset you need to accomplish, you know, a lot of things with motivation. A lot of times when you need that motivation, it's not there. So even though they're both here and there, I would, you know, I really like that. I really like that momentum.
And I'm glad you caught that because the switch is how to use small wins to actually create momentum to kind of expedite your success.
Right.
Momentum, as you know, is a key component in anything that you're doing. It's funny, man. I think about my son playing basketball. Like, you know, as a team, when you get momentum, and the other team know, damn, these jokers are
on fire.
They on fire. You know, you got to keep fanning that fire.
And what happens to the other team when the team gets momentum? Like, I won't even ask you the question. But what happens with the other team? The other team knows they have to do something to shift the momentum.
Yes, because you can't stop momentum. Momentum is more powerful than
you have
its
to
part.
shift it.
You got to redirect. It's back to that Steven Seagal shit. You got to redirect the momentum, and most people can't stop momentum. So how to build momentum in your success process is to start to learn to celebrate the small wins. You got to first identify what a win looks like.
Right.
Like, damn, I handled that shit way smoother. Or that would have been bothering me all day, and I'm through it in a week. Or, damn, my son just said something that's annoying as hell, but I didn't react to it. I just said, son, go. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what you're doing is you're creating a game where you can set up yourself for small wins. It's the same thing with kids. Like, when you're raising your kids and you want to build confidence in your kid, you got to give them an opportunity to get small wins. You know what I'm saying? So the key,
and you have to acknowledge those small wins.
Ooh,
very important.
That's the.
I mean, you got some. You got listen, man. I train a lot of athletes, man, and I've sat down with dads and had to speak to them like they were the kids. I'm like, dude, like you on him all the time about what he's not doing, bro. But I haven't heard you say one time talk about the things that he is doing well.
Damn.
That's why I don't want you at the game, dude. Like you pick him up and the whole ride home you talking about what he didn't do well.
And you know
why they want to come here? It's because for me, when he come here, we focus on what you did well. And then we ask you to acknowledge the things you didn't do well, and then we try to figure out a way to get better at the things that you didn't do well, instead of focusing on the negative first, the negative reinforcement, and then trying to double it back.
Damn.
So
we just started
important.
another damn podcast, but the framing of it, there's the celebrating the small wins, A, which we talked about, and then there's B, is framing your accomplishments in a way that's empowering.
Right.
So if you were like, hey, what did you do right?
Right.
Then that's gonna automatically get you thinking into, damn, what did I do right?
Or if you see your son is playing, you like, yo, as soon as you get in the car, hey man, he's pissed about the game and they didn't win or whatever. First thing you say, bro, I saw you. You was out there getting busy. I saw the defense. I saw the this. I saw that. I saw when you scored the this. I saw you did that. Bop, 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 bop. Now he's up. He's like, yeah, I actually did do that.
No, but
I actually did do that.
That actual situation happened. So
This is what
boom,
I'm
at
saying.
the end of the game, I'm like, son, why you got your head down? He's like, I didn't play well. I was like, what could you have improved? He's like, well, he didn't really know. I was like, bro, let me explain something to you. You ain't score, but you ain't getting no turnovers.
Right.
You were playing killer D.
Let's
None
go.
of your people scored.
Right.
And his shoulders started you know what I'm saying, getting a little straighter. I was like, yeah, bro, you focusing on the wrong things. You feed your focus and starve your fears. You feed what you did right. Learn from what you did wrong, but you need to look at it. My daughter hit me with this the other day, and I was saying something to her, and I was like, sweetheart, you want to focus on the things that you're doing right, or why don't you focus on the same thing, with the things that you are doing right? And she hit me with some parent shit. She said the same reason parents look at report cards and just talk about the bad grades. I was like, damn, you right.
And see, for me, bro, I ain't
like,
gonna
you
lie.
right about that shit. I was like, damn, parents do be doing that shit.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, Bro,
and I got to catch myself because you look at the good grades, you're like, all right, bet, get bet. You be like, so what's up with this C right here? Instead of being like, oh, you killing it and so. It changes the whole energy. And honestly, we just big ass kids.
Right.
We're no different than our children.
I harp on the good grades though. Like I make sure, and I think it's because of how I was raised. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't my dad that was on me about. It wasn't my dad that was on me about. Or my mom that was on me about how I played as my brothers. I got one brother that's 2 years older than me. He was always focused on what I didn't do right.
Yeah.
I could have had a phenomenal game, but he picking apart. So when I got old, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that to my athletes. I'm not gonna do that to my kids. Maybe it worked with some people.
Certain people. I guess it depends on your personality, man.
I just know how I felt.
Yeah. You didn't feel empowered.
And
you were like, damn, I improved over here. You ain't even gonna say nothing about that?
I mean, the coach told me what I did. Like, the coach was like, yo, this is the – and you – so I think, you know, even with the grades and things like that, I make sure, you know, I focus on and I harp on the positives first, and then we get to the things that you're not doing well and the things you need to improve on, you know?
And so, I mean, the recap, I would say, is that, again, if you're just tuning in, we're celebrating our 10th episode. We're pretty proud about that. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot. It takes a lot. We got other things going on. It's been a commitment on both Will and I's part to get here and to continue to make these episodes no matter what's going on. Rain, sleet, or snow.
The gym is not right around the corner from the house.
It ain't right around the corner. It's a drive, and this is damn sure Sunday. You know what I'm saying? We filming it, but sometimes even the principle of committing to the consistency of it, even if you don't get it perfect, get it right, it starts to build the momentum, which is what we're talking about. And what we want to encourage you guys to do is to find out the areas of your life where you can create a game that's worth playing and create those small wins. And most importantly, celebrate those small wins. When you create the small wins, you celebrate the small wins, that's when you can start developing momentum.
And we all deal with it. We all deal with feeling like we ain't do enough. I mean, for you, I used to always be like, bro, you look good, bro. Like, you like, nah, I'm good. I ain't really. I'm like, bro, you better celebrate that shit, man.
Because I didn't know.
All that work you putting in, bro, you up 5 o'clock, training 5 o'clock in the morning. 200, 300 days straight. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's you got to celebrate that, man. So, and I'm a victim of it as well, you know. You know, my mom used to always tell me like somebody, you know, when I first started training, people used to try to give me a tip, and I used to be like, nah, I'm good. My mom was up here like, this is like when I've had my first son, and I was telling her about that. She was like, look, you better let them people bless you. Like, you better accept them blessings that God giving you a blessing. It's the same thing. I feel as though it's like a spiritual confirmation that you're doing the right thing. And a lot of times we push it back like, nah, you look good. Nah, I ain't really. You lost a lot of weight. You look great. Nah, I ain't really. You know, so I think we play a part in that, and we need to make sure that we accept that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because we do the work to make those things happen, man. So, you know, they say you look good, say thank you. All you gotta do is say thank you.
Yeah, it's real simple. It's real simple. So that's it, man. That's the recap. Is that, you know, like I said, today's the 10th episode. Anybody that's been watching, supporting, we appreciate y'all. Like we said, we set out to achieve our goal, which is to help 100,000 men make the transformation from the man that they are today into the man that they want to be. And we're doing it. We're doing it in practice. You know what I'm saying? It's a learning experience for us. You know what I'm saying? It is about taking action. But the most important takeaway that I want anybody to take away from this podcast today is find a way to look at what you're doing and find the things that you're doing well so you can do more things. Notice the things that you want to improve on, but focus on what you're doing right. That's the full speed ahead. That's why you look through your windshield, and you look through the rear view mirror. The rear view mirror is the things that you need to improve on because that's in the past. The windshield is the things you need to focus on, which is the direction that you're heading in. You got to create a game that's worth playing. You want to create momentum so you can get some speed going, and the way that you do that is by learning to not only acknowledge the small wins, but most importantly, to celebrate the small wins.
Yes, sir. And hey, look, we appreciate you guys for tuning in again to yet another episode of Transformers, the podcast, with your boy, Will Beckford.
And your main man, Dallas Maxwell.